Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Chinese Grand Prix, round number 5 of the championship here in bronze, and two very damp and wet Chinese Grand Prix over the past 2 days. We even had a bit of a sprinkling of the wet stuff in the 100% as well last Wednesday. Then, so are we going to get 4 for 4 tonight? Then for the rain? I don't know. I reckon we are. So I have actually betted a pair of my favourite socks, which I have got on right now, and I think they're my tennis socks actually, even though I don't play tennis. Anyway, enough of the shenanigans. Welcome along, everyone, to what is going to be a very interesting Chinese Grand Prix. Let me go for the drive and stretch out. I've got real bad indigestion. I've had to quickly get out the old can of Monster to get me going. Right, there is no milestones tonight. Then 89th Grand Prix start tonight for Vintage. Actually, 75th Grand Prix start tonight for 79th, 75th Grand Prix start tonight for Vintage, so good stuff indeed. Then I'm ready, Farf. I'm ready, my good sir. And we've also got the 30th Grand Prix start tonight for former champion Jinner, and 60th Grand Prix start tonight for Sick as Muck as well. So big round of applause to all those drivers. Very good stuff indeed. Anyway, more importantly, potentially, well, it certainly is at the moment though, because the drivers in the constructors' championships look like this. Too good to miss. Dan leads the way then on 25 points, and 25 points in front of. As they got a big old motorcycle behind me. Great stuff. As just as we have got Dan 25 points in front of Marsky in second position. Then good stuff indeed there for Marsky. Of course, I think he was runner up or third in the championship a few seasons ago. So Marsky can he go one better and claim the title? Sick as Muck in third position. Superb start for Sick as Muck. 3 points in front of Cirrus Mushroom in fourth. Smith your mighty fifth, and starting to climb up the order after a bit of a difficult start. Sixth position is Jinner, former champion, and remember the second half of the season his championship campaign was superlative. Craig Arson, I think that could have and should have been a lot higher up in the championship. Very unlucky. Same with Rocket Lee as well in eighth position. Those drivers have been very unlucky. Styles and should have got a podium last time out in at ninth. 10th position is Two Face Baby in the Aston Martin, but we've got two reserve drivers in the Aston Martin tonight. Then as Two-Face Baby not driving tonight, and the other driver, TJ Hale, who was meant to be in the Aston Martin right at the beginning of the season, decided that he only was going to have the game for the trial or whatever, and then decided not to buy the game at all. Then, so great stuff indeed. What a waste of admin's time that was. But there we go. Anyway, carrying on. Slayer in 11th position there on 8.6 for Dynamo Dan. Vintage on 6 points as well. 4 points for another driver that's gone AWOL. Fee for Beefy. Great stuff indeed. Good hustle. 2 points for Duncan Dave and 1 point for Don the Don Zed. Currently, who hasn't scored then is Ashton, Swanshanks, and Moomin. In the Constructors' Championship, we have Alpine leading the way. Alpine got such a good history in bronze. They really have indeed that. 13 points in front of RB in second position now. Then we got Kick Sauber in third. Ferrari in fourth. 2 points in front of the Williams team in fifth, with Haas in sixth position. 1 point between the Haas and the Williams team. Red Bull in 7th position now, not RB, on 28 points, 11 points for Aston Martin, 8 points for Mercedes, and 3 points for the McLaren team as well. Good stuff indeed then. Of course, then let's get on with the race. And of course, the Reserve Championship last night was... Sorry, did I say reserve? How dare I? It felt like it, didn't it? It's quarter of the grid was reserves. Yeah, great job indeed last night for Mumford. And I got to have a soft spot for Mumford because a driver that's very much been with us for a very long time is starting to reap the rewards as well. So great stuff indeed there for... Great stuff indeed then for Mumford then, and what was appalling conditions there, kind of opposite for Gold really, wasn't it, where it started off dry and went to wet then, and it's absolute deluge, wasn't it, right at the end of the session as well. Then as out the pits comes some Formula One cars as well. Don the Dons, hello everyone, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Also saying evening from Andy as well. Good evening to you, Rocket Lee, let's go. Evening Irvine there, evening lads, and Rocket Lee, glad to be back. Vintage evening, of course, Rocket Lee recovering from from a dose of COVID, unfortunately. We've also got any Minecraft rain expected tonight. Then I'm going to be honest, I don't know, but I bet my bottom dollar we will have some rain. Thank you very much there to Vince gifting a membership then to Andy. That's brilliant stuff indeed. Then damn the Minecraft rain. Then we've also got Don's sun for the race, and I cannot believe that I've just lost my pair of my tennis socks. I'm getting devastated. As we've also got dry far for saying I don't believe that either. Goodness gracious me. Yes. Right. Anyway, let's go on with the show, shall we? And I've got a really itchy leg. Who's out first, I hear, Ross said? Well, we've got ARB, I think, which is right at the other end of the... oh, goodness me. And we've got a debutant tonight as well, actually. Of course, here is Stephen Anthony, who's just joined the ALR paddock then. And goodness me, he has been thrown into the deep end very quickly indeed. Golly gosh there. That is Farfair does not let anyone settle in, do they? Goodness gracious me. Good luck to Stephen Anthony. I'm going to be calling Anthony from now on. So great stuff indeed there. Just on board, and just on board there was Anthony going down into the hairpin then. So let's stick with Anthony, shall we? Then of course there's only one qualifying session in bronze. So 18 minutes and old school qualifying if you're long-time viewers of Formula One. Of course, if you watched it when I first started watching it, goodness gracious me, you're as old as old, which is a shameful behaviour, isn't it? Maybe you've got a lot of grey hair in your happy trail as well, as Anthony goes into turn 1, 2, and 3. Then it's a this is a tyre killer, the opening couple of corners around Shanghai. But 88 for Anthony. Love the car, love the name, love the. Now, of course, let's see if we love the driver as well. That is, he goes down into turn number 6. Then let's go on board and put some pressure on the debutant. Like goodness gracious me. He might to be honest, Anthony might thrive under pressure. We have got SIG ALR spoilers, and to be honest, it is a spoiler actually, really is, because I do like it when I don't know much about the weather. Talking of spoilers, there's some huge news coming out of the real world of Formula One. Believe it or not, Binotto is now part of the Audi project, and Audi have got rid of Hoffman and Andrea Seidel. Goodness gracious me. And Seidel, of course, was the main man at the McLaren team for a couple of years on there before Andrea Stella took over. And absolutely shocking stuff indeed. I was absolutely beside myself to read that. I've read it off Instagram, so it might be wrong. It might be completely wrong. But that is shocking indeed. And I think that Audi project is not looking too rosy, is it? Of course, Sauber not doing too well in Formula 1 mode. They haven't scored a point this season, have they? I think they're the only constructor that haven't scored a point. And unfortunately now also struggling there with personnel as well. Well, Anthony, goodness gracious me, great start there, right out of the blocks there. 10 per second slower than Marsky, a 2-time Grand Prix winner in bronze. So Anthony, welcome to the show, my good sir. Love it. We have got Sigismund currently faster by a 10th of a second there. Glad to be back. Hopefully I'll get a point, even if it's just one then movement is saying. Sorry about that movement. I haven't got a point at 100% now, which I'm devastated by, to be honest, because my aim in 100% was to hopefully score in every single race and just survive. But it's much more difficult than that. I can tell you that. And the McLaren of Duncan David, McLaren could have and should have been a lot higher up in the construction than what they are at the moment. Duncan David has been very unlucky in the last couple of races. Styles once again, styling and profiling. A great time there from Hungry Styles. Should have got a podium last time out as well in car 5. Styles is loving life out there at the moment. Great stuff indeed. Justify in the Aston Martin. Hopefully Justified as well, and maybe even far might think about giving him a race seat and replacing the dude that just went missing in action there. Oh goodness me, what can I say about that? I know it's only a game and all that kind of stuff, but come on, guys, man, it's just a waste of admin's time, really, isn't it? You ain't gonna, if you don't want to race, just say. I mean, yeah, there we go. And because all the effort as well with all the driver lineups and stuff, and then just do one race and then just sling your hook, great stuff. I'd say don't bother coming back. Justify at the end of the lap, coming up into turn 16 as well. As you can tell, I am very overtired. Out of the final turn then comes Justify across the line, and Justify going 6 past in the Aston Martin there, and doing a very good job indeed. Right then, a point to the point, Rocket Lee is saying, indeed it is then. It's a get back from Aussie and race centres. We've also got Hulkenberg cursed with bad career moves. Then also F120 40% off. Should I get it? Get it. I think this game's actually all right personally. It's the most enjoyable most enjoyable F1 game that I have played since F1 21. It must be enjoyable. The fact is that I'm trying to take part in an ALR discipline, which I'm not really a fan of, but up until recently anyway, and I'm actually enjoying it, and that's 100%. And I've always been an F2 man myself for our event league, but I think 100% has done really well for the past couple of seasons. Well done to Nosey, doing a good job, of course. The man who's really flagged up the 100%, and of course. And I thought F2 would have been better, but actually, yeah, it's really good stuff indeed. That movement there, all over the show there, but going off the circuit. But 11 fast movement is Ashton Army currently on a 26 there. Vintage and bad at this time. Here comes the mushroom on the medium compound of tires. German, evening to you. Now I'm back in the UK. I could dip my toes up back into ALR if I get F1 24. I've got a spot right underneath my armpit at the moment, and it's really irritable. It's been irritating me all day, and I've still got my work shirt on at the moment now, so I'm gonna have to try and refrain myself. Of course, unfortunately, when I find something, I have to keep playing with it and touching it. It's just something which I need to sort myself out with. Right, as you got serious mushroom on the back straight, and talking of playing and touching it, here is the mushroom. Of course, I don't know where I'm going to go with that segue, but here he is in the Williams there, down into the big breaking point there. Of course, on Sunday, we seen it was Gerdman and, of course, Toy Coin, two drivers then with pretty impressive resumes in qualifying. Of course, trip over each other. Now, Toy Coin was on lap. German there was on a quick lap as well, but they came across each other. Toy Coin started his lap too close to German, and then German unfortunately really hurt Toy Coin's lap in the middle part of the course there. And I must say, there's been a lot of fracas, a lot of chatter in the gold chat after that race, and still going on in the last couple of hours as well. A lot of it's really sparked a lot of debate, hasn't it? Of course, in real world of Formula One, then of course, if you're both on a quick lap, then really you're both going to be then really that's the driver behind should have given more space then. However, I think it's still being investigated because there's an appeal that has gone in. So very interesting stuff indeed there from the gold chatter then as well. So we love a bit of needle, don't we? We had a bit of needle in the Hungarian Grand Prix. Oh, by the way, I've watched it now. In the Hungarian Grand Prix there, what team message we had as well? Max Verstappen there, a very moody moo, a bit like me to be honest. And of course, it was not happy with the strategy. Finished 5th at the end, and a wild lunge on Lewis Hamilton as well, which I think was actually no. I think it ended up to be it wasn't. I think it was like racing instruments or something like that. Here comes Kian across the line now and going fast on a 31.7 and already quicker. Very good stuff indeed there. And I think Kian's actually a full-time driver now, isn't he? I must admit, I'm so far behind what's going on in ALR full-time drivers and stuff. I need to really pull my socks up, but unfortunately I have been working, so I'm a little lost with all the old comings and goings there. Evening to you, Camera Racer. Hello, all racers there, and thank you very much. 10 euros from Camera Racer as well. Thank you very much, sir. And stars for the podium. Yes, indeed. There. I'm going to start. I'm going to start. I hope this is probably going to sound pretty bad, actually. I'd love for you to get a podium, but unfortunately, there is going to be no podium interviews again tonight, mainly because I need to go to sleep because I am hanging out my rear. So I need some sleep desperately. Slayer on a 52.2 then in the middle sector. Teammate Anthony done one lap and flying up in 6th position. I love to see that. That's fantastic stuff indeed. That as I'm already sweating like a pig. I look like a pig as well. I am pink and round. As we got pixels in the chat as well. Good evening to you, my good sir. I think you finished second, did you, last night? A very good performance indeed then in the Silver Championship. albeit we had a quarter of the grid that was reserving, which was pretty bad indeed. And the reason why I don't like reserves as well, actually that's a lie, I do like reserves. I like reserves and it's aimed to get on the grid and, and become a full-time driver. And the other reason, but there's one reason why I'm not a fan of reserves this year is because it takes me an extra half an hour to do the championship standings. Down the back straight then, of course, the championship leader at the moment, and he's got a win advantage so far. It was that has just jumped up the old Ash Jenner now. Both Haas's are set a third and fourth then, and looking strong then, both Haas's recently are starting to really put some pressure on the Alpine team, and just as I say that, Dan goes second fastest, a whisker, just under a tenth of a second away from Kian, and currently who's at pole position so far. Evening to you, Mushroom there. Of course, Mushroom now currently in ninth position, and that was on the medium tyres as well. 6 minutes ago in this qualifying session. Winnie, who is returned to the grid as well tonight. I'm not sure if it's a one-time only thing or not, but hopefully it's not. Of course, Winnie, a Grand Prix winner in bronze, and possibly should be a multiple-time Grand Prix winner. However, it's had a couple of issues. Then Ashton there has retired from the session. There is at Slayer. Then back end is looking like a shopping trolley there. So I think that Slayer is probably going to be coming into the pits. This looks like an in-lap as well for Slayer. Justify up into a superb 11th position now. Dynamo Dan, who was just going to the first sector now, 2/10 of a second up, a quarter of a second up in the second Alpine car. Of course, Dynamo Dan, runner up in the championship back in season 5 or season 6. But not a good start to the season. His new teammate Dan has kind of had the edge over him. Of course, everyone always looks at your teammate and how you perform against your teammate first. And the two Dans in the Alpine car said Alpine, as we mentioned, has got such a good history in bronze. I think one of the more successful teams in bronze as well. I think they got the most wins actually out of any bronze at constructor, if I'm not very much mistaken. I haven't got my all-time stats up at the moment, but Dynamo Dan, was we expecting him to lead the line this season for the Alpine? He did have a difficult season last season, did Dynamo Dan, but we was expecting potentially a championship fight back this season, potentially claim something that he lost at this circuit of 2 seasons ago then. Of course, I remember it quite well, as it was my birthday at the time as well, as I was celebrating my birthday, was Dynamo Dan was commiserating on the side of the track there, which eventually lost the championship, and Jenner took the championship at this very venue 2 seasons ago. Dynamo Dan currently 9th at the moment. They're struggling for performance in that second Alpine, whilst the other Alpine is currently on the front row of the grid. They're 4 minutes in this qualifying session to go. Craig R has gone 7 fast whilst I've been waffling on then, and has Haas now 4th and 5th then. Let's take stock. We're on it with 4 minutes to go in this qualifying session there. Things are starting to heat up now. Sick us back into the pits. We've got Moomin attacking the circuit now in the kick Sauber. Kian on pole position so far, but just under a tenth of a second from Dan, the championship leader in second position. Third position is Sick as Mike. We're just watching teammate Moomin at the moment. Then we have got Jinner in 4th. 5th position is the Haas of Styles, and the Haas 4th and 5th, looking strong, but can they get points? That has been their Achilles heel so far. Just on the Marski is on pole position there. German's got a mega box from KFC as well. Absolutely fantastic. What's more exciting? Marski on pole position by 2/10 of a second, or a mega box. Sorry, Marsky, I have to go with the Mega Box. I love a good old Mega Box from KFC. I love a bargain bucket as well, but let's not talk about buckets on this channel, shall we? Moving back into the pits now. We've got Duncan Dave flicking it into turn 1, down in 16th, and for Duncan Dave, who's had strong performances and probably should have got some major points in the McLaren Mercedes, but that has not transpired. Sirius Mushroom is trying to put some pace on there, and here comes debutant Anthony as well. And there are some seriously big hitters out there. Mushroom are on board with now. Love the helmet inside. Let's see if we love the performance of the Willie. On board now then, as on the short straight, and of course this is only about a third of the length compared to that long back straight, which I think is the longest straight on the Formula 1 calendar, unless of course we had Fuji, which we don't have Fuji, so that means that is an irrelevant point. So it is this long back straight here. I think it's 1.2 kilometers long, isn't it? Luckily distance is not my strong. It's not my forte, mainly because I am ignorant on things. Because I do come up a bit short on the old length in some areas. Serious Mushroom certainly does it. Accelerates out of 14 and 15, and 15's a nothing turn and down, flick it into 16. And, oh, Cam! I thought he was going to spin the car around, but I think he hooked it nicely across the line. Mushroom third fastest for 500ths of a second there. And I think he hooked that final corner absolutely splendidly there. Fantastic. And really good stuff indeed. 2 minutes ago in this qualifying session. Who was I looking for there? Rocket Lee out on second one. We got across the line, and we got Duncan Dave. Only 12 fastest for the McLaren team. He'd be disappointed that Duncan Dave. He has been reaching the limits of that McLaren in the past couple of races, but that is not ideal. Look at the cars coming out of the pits. Goodness gracious me. 1, 2, 3, 4 cars has followed each other out of the pit lane. The back row has been sealed. Winning 20th. Real Ashton in 19th position. What about the Ferrari? Smithy Almighty, of course, fourth in the championship last season. Over the grid, Hatchins over the line. 12 passes for Smithy. Might be a bit disappointed with that. Then what about, is that Rocket Lee? Yes, Rocket Lee is second fastest. I thought he might have been pole, but it's a 1-2 for the RB team. Rocket Lee has been very quick, hasn't he, in this one? And Rocket Lee is currently second fastest at the moment. I am dribbling. Am I dribbling about Rocket Lee's performance? Yes, it's fantastic there for Rocket Lee. Currently on the front row, but Marsky currently on pole position moment now. Aston Martin across the line there. Where is that Aston Martin? I hear Aston. It's Justify across the line. It's the top 10. It's a finish there for Justify. Fantastic. Oh my word. And it was next. And Styles, 6 passes for Styles. Fantastic performance for the Haas team. Love it. Magnificent stuff indeed there. And what about the back straight? Well, at the back straight, and that's a Red Bull I see. Is it? Is it? It is indeed. That. Oh my goodness gracious me. Look at all those cars. Joe Smashing currently fourth and one. Vintage out enough. He's coming into the pits now. He's invalidated his time, unfortunately. And now they're coming across the line now then. And here we go then. So Dan currently 11th at the moment now. Across the grid, Hatch there to start his lap then. Vintage is going to be 15th. That's the highest he's going to be. We got Jenner starting his lap as well. The former champion clinched the world championship 2 seasons ago here. And now the other Alpine of Dan for as well. Keenan also on the circuit as well. I think Keenan's actually on the lap. Here he is. There's no slipstreaming in front of him, unfortunately. So he's going to be down the back straight now then, as we're on board with the Scuderia. Reaching top speed of 200 miles an hour before breaking down into just 45 miles an hour before getting back on the loud pedal and now coming into the far turn. Has he run out of fuel? No, he hasn't. There's just a long camera shot. Then on board now with Keenan across the line. It's pole position there for 2,000ths of a second there. Magnificent stuff indeed. And has absolutely ruined the dreams of Team RB. Gets it a front row lockout here, and that is disappointing indeed. Justified crawling. What about Styles also coming in the pits as well? We have got, it is, I think, Dynamo Dan is the first of this queue of cars there, and they're all close together. We could have a situation similar to Gold, and potentially there could be some drivers that is feeling a bit aggrieved with for what is occurring. Dynamo Dan then, look at that, he's got about 20% battery power and breaking down into 45 miles an hour before getting back on the power now. Accelerating away then as we're coming up into the final turn now. On board Dynamo Dan, lead with us as we go into turn 16. Across the line, DRS, a beep. Is that enough? It's only 10 passes here. For Dynamo Dan. Jenner's pole position there when Dan is gone on pole position by a quarter of a second. The championship leader has asserted his authority, and his sick as muck has gone alongside him on row 1. What an end to qualifying that is. But it is Dan. Pole position number 2 for Dan. Absolutely superb stuff indeed. In 8 qualifying attempts, and he's been on pole position twice, and he has got a quarter of the succession rate there. Lovely stuff indeed. from Dan Dan. And Dan, of course, Jenner has been on pole position for the last 3 races in a row. Dan Dan has stopped that monopoly now. And not only that, then that's Dan Dan's second pole position of the season as well. Alpine are going to be absolutely loving that. Then I think it's going to be a head-to-head between Alpine and Haas for the pole position. There. But brilliant quality there from Alexander is saying there. And look at that, 2 tenths a second. That's quite a big gap, isn't it? Really. Remember the other two qualifyings has been so close. That right, I'm going to wet my whistle. Welcome back, everyone. Look at that. It's like I timed that. I'm getting good at this broadcaster malarkey. Let's go for the grid show from front to back. And there is the tyre strategy. According to Farf, and Farf is never the most reliable of sources, is he? But today, he's reckoned there's no rain in the air here in Shanghai. Do we believe him? Well, I think that we may have to, because look at that. It's beautiful skies, and normally in Shanghai you do see a lot of smog, but none of that today. That is absolutely perfect racing conditions here tonight, which I think the bronze drivers are going to be happy with. So out of 4 races we've had around here, this is the only time where we've had a completely dry session, or so at the moment. Issues for we got a major issues. Dondon's rejoining the circuit. Slayer well out of position. The reason being that there's issues with the feedback on the car, which means that Slayer could be out of the race before it even gets going, and that's a horror show for the Mercedes. A horror show for row 9 by the looks of things, because even Don of the Dons is having issues as well. Slayer trying to adjust some settings in the car to try and get that issue sorted out, but this is not ideal for Slayer, as Don has asked for a new lobby for some reason. I'm not sure why. But at the moment, Slayer is having major issues out there, as well as Don the Dons. We have also got Moomin. What the hell was that about on the outlap there? So I think that Moomin got caught up in the fracas of the position there. So medium tire, hard tires for majority of the field, apart from Rocket Lee, Kian, Jinner, Sickers, Dan, and of course Vintage, who's out of position there on the hot medium tires. So we've watched Vintage fly. Dan pole position for the second time of his career. Sick as muck alongside him on row 1 on hard tires. Sick as muck will be a major factor, I think, in the second half of this race. For position is Jinner, who won the championship here a few seasons ago. Kian in 4th position. It's an all RB at row 3. We used to be saying that they were on the front row just a few moments ago. Serious Mushroom in 7th position. Styles superb in 8th position. Craig R in 9th. At a bit off the pace Craig R is tonight. Then usually he's very much in the heart of that top 6 battle, but tonight only in the top 10. I wish I was in the top 10. Justified superb in 11th position. Donovan down in 12th position. Anthony on his debut. What a debut for Anthony. Great stuff indeed there. A big thumbs up from me. Smithfield Mighty in 13th. Moomin 14th. Duncan Dave struggling in 15th as well, with Vintage. Don 16th and 17th. Slayer issues with force feedback. Then Ashton in 19th position. Winnie in 20th position. That lovely shot here of the media tower. And goodness gracious me, DRS has been disabled, which is, I suppose, a good thing to know about. Of course, as there is not going to be any DRS yet, and red lights are on, red lights are off, and it is go here in Shanghai. And a good start from Serious Mushroom from what I can see. As we go down into turn 1, contact, and there's issues at the back of the field then, and it's a horror show for Jinner and Kean then, who have both come to blows then, and that is not good at all then, and is that damage? There surely is damage there, and Slayer's out of the race as well, and my goodness me, I don't know where Slayer is, and Slayer's gone straight on, Donald Dons is out of the race then, and Jinner all the way down the back of the field, as is Kean as well then, and we got Rocket League diving up the inside, yellow flags for the Mercedes, and Slayer's out of the Grand Prix, and the issues then with the force feedback then, and you cannot find any grip then, as Rocket League has made its way up into out of fifth position there, as goodness gracious me then, yes, we seen it, and they're coming across each other, going down into turn one, the Dons has joined, but I think his car's already out of the Grand Prix, unfortunately. Oh dear, and unfortunately, we seen the view from one of the rear cars, didn't we? And unfortunately, that idea at all, Kean down 15, Jinner down 15, Kean down 12 positions, down 10 positions, sick as muck as well. And I wonder if those drivers then just merged into the same flight path as each other, and it's really cost them, but that is not ideal at all. Not ideal at all. Then, so we just Dan has already got a 2-second advantage already. Serious Mushroom up into second, but up into third position because Marsky's up into second, and Craig R having a difficult qualifying, but in the race much better. Sick as muck trying to come back from the field, attacking Anthony, who's dropped down to 12th position. Anthony has goodness gracious me, you've got all kinds of shenanigans going on into the hairpin as well. As this lobby is screwed, according to Slayer, then is into the pits now. Then comes as Anthony looks like he's struggling there, down into 13th position there. As I think the Mercedes is going on the inside of Winnie here. As Winnie backs off, and I think Winnie's got damage as well. So Winnie probably should have come into the pits here, because of that is going to be a lot of understeer. Kean has to come in the pits there, and that is going to be a difficult comeback. Then up the inside, that's contact there from Justify there to Dynamite Dan. Sick as muck and Smithfield might get through as well. That's a messy overtake into turn 6 there, potentially. Maybe a day late and a dollar short. Sick as muck is recovered back up into 7th position there. Moving on the outside there and passes Justify, who is recovering after that lunge on Dynamite Dan, who's down into 15th position there. It's a bit of a difficult start here in Bronze House. A horror show start for certain drivers out there. But there's a long race to go, 28 laps, and this is probably one of the longer races of the season in terms of time. It's quite a slow average speed around here. It's also quite a long circuit as well. Average lap time in qualifying was about 90 seconds or so. So of course the race out is going to be a lot slower lap times as well. Rocket Lee all over the back of Craig R. Well, he isn't anymore, because by the time we joined them, Rocket Lee is now alongside and takes it. Who's that? That's Marsky, drops him down to the second position because Serious Mushroom's out in the second. Issues at the back of the field, and Ashton having issues in the second Williams car. All the way down the order then. Look at this. It's Dada setting up fast on the race and running away at the moment. There's maybe a bit of rewind, and going on the inside there. Marsky is through and takes second position, and almost there, sliding to the inside there as the Williams, the RB. Too many blue cars on the grid, isn't there? Goodness gracious me. As Serious Rush is through and back up into it's still in second position there. As Craig R is now going to be looking in his wing mirrors because Hungry Styles had having issues. Well, Donald Dons has asked for a lobby restart, but if there's only 2 drivers that has got issues, then it can't really it has to be at least half the lobby, doesn't it, really, if there's issues. Unfortunately, it's harsh, I must say, but it's very difficult, and you can't restart the lobby, I don't think, unfortunately, as and Farf, I think, would have called for a restart probably well before this, and we haven't done so. Dan is now almost 4 seconds up the road then. This is very much a rewind of Sam Swift's incredible masterclass on Sunday, an incredible performance indeed. That remember last night, though, it certainly wasn't about running away and hiding, was it? As a Mumford fought to the very end of that incredible Grand Prix. But here tonight, then, it looks like the Dan is very much rushing away then, and really putting some pace into. I think he's on the medium tires as well, isn't he? So come down, look at that lovely shot here. Serious Mushroom, Marsky, Rocket Lee, Craig R, and Hungry Stars, and this battle for second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. And Winnie out of the Grand Prix, and Winnie, where is that gone? Well, I don't know where Winnie's crashed. He's crashed somehow before the end of the hairpin, and issues indeed then. And there's an Aston. Well, I thought there was an Aston Martin crawling. Oh no! Winnie's on the okay. Winnie's on the other side of the circuit there. So yeah, Winnie's unfortunately crashed now the Grand Prix. So that's our third retirement in this one. That was just a yellow flag then, was it? Just flag a double wave yellows probably to clean the car up and get the race back underway. So good stuff there for the marshals. No safety car, and I think that some drivers probably would have wanted a safety car. Maybe Kian and Real Ashton probably would have liked a safety car here at the moment there. Just watching Marsky all over the gearbox, and his Kian then is now starting to put his toe down. Now I hope I'm saying his name right, because this is probably not the race to mess up the name when it's been a bit of a tough show so far. That 3 retirements already. I think the Winnie then, it looks like, I reckon that Winnie did, is there a lobby issue potentially? Well, we'll find out, but that's Winnie who's just left and then joined by the looks of things, and I wonder if his car, because it looked very odd, didn't it, from where his position was, because I thought he crashed on the back straight here. DRS is now enabled now then for Marsky. Rocket Lee is now also very interested as well. Serious Mushroom then is going to have to get defensive here, and he doesn't get too defensive there. All these drivers are on the hard tyres apart from Rocket Lee, who is making the most of those medium tyres. Out of the hairpin as well. Star's also in the thick of it as well. So we come out of the hairpin. Sick as muck in 7th position there. Vintage has got past Justify and moved himself up into 10th position there. Justify jumped down to 11th for Hazard. He's having a look on the inside, but backs out there as Vintage had the medium tyres and he would have had a much better grip. But Justify there breezes past, and now we've also got Anthony also involved as well. And up into 11th position, Anthony said if he keeps on the outside, fantastic. Rocket Lee has got past Mushroom. Mushroom has lost 2 positions there. Mushroom's got damage. What has happened to Serious Mushroom? That the end plate of the Williams car is in major trouble, and that is going to be painful in the second sector here for Mushroom, and that is going to really put pay to Mushroom's strategy here, because the understeer is just going to absolutely ruin the tyres out. It's going to ruin the speed of Serious Mushroom as well. And remember, Mushroom should have and could have got to a podium here, but an unfortunate toilet break cost him a podium on Wednesday. And unfortunately now a damaged end plate may cost him another podium here. It's not in. So Serious Mushroom is a very quick customer around here, but it's not ideal. Dynamo Dan having issue. I think that this around this part of the circuit here, he's had nightmares around here before, and unfortunately Dynamo Dan not having a good job there as well. Jenner off the circuit in the second Haas car. As it's all there's action here everywhere at the moment. The Marshall's arms are probably going to get tired with the amount of yellow flags that have been waved so far. That 5 out of 28 here then. Accelerates it away then under the shade. Marsky is now in. Is there more damage? I just had a look at the RB there, and I thought that there was more damage as well. Justify and Anthony fighting for position here. Anthony now up into 10th position. Great something. Serious Mushroom, I think, is in the pits. That is horror show for Serious Mushroom. Justify having a sniff on the inside, but Serious Mushroom's race is all done and dusted, unfortunately. That is not ideal at all, and Serious Mushroom is going to be furious, I think, with what has occurred here. So justifying a look then going into turn 1, but at the moment that the Aston Martin now has to stay behind Anthony, who's doing a superb job out there at the moment there, and potentially this could be an audition for a full-time race seat, and if I was the admin, I'll be giving him the full-time seat already. Well done to Anthony. Superb. Yellow flag there as Ginner's off the circuit, and well off the circuit there. Ginner's had 2 offs in the past couple of laps here. It's not looking ideal for Ginner at the moment, because Ginner's had some speed, but the first start of this first stage of this championship not been ideal. Whilst it's been plain sailing for Dan Dan at the moment. Dan Dan is stretched the route at the moment, very similar to how Max Verstappen started his championship challenge earlier on in 2024. But of course, this is one of the longest seasons ever. Of course, we have 24 races here in bronze and silver, only 23 in gold, as Duncan Dave has had a cropper as well, has come back on the circuit now, but issues in the second sector there. There's a lot. I wonder if it's just too hot out there for the tyres at the moment, and causing all kinds of issues then. So Slayer has fixed the force feedback, but as he's gone into Grand Prix mode, but unfortunately for Slayer though, it's not helped him in the race. So Slayer out of the Grand Prix, and he is going to be feeling very aggrieved with what has occurred here tonight. So from the lobby, favourite track, this is by Bahrain, and says Slayer. So Slayer is not happy at all then with what's gone on in this race. And up the inside, Craigar, there's that contact, that moping contact between the two cars. I didn't see any damage there, as both end plates seems to be still intact at the moment, as Jenner and Duncan Dave, who've also had their adventures as well, swapping positions as well, but we're sticking with this one for the minute. Craigar, who had a difficult qualifying, is now into the top 5 then. Sick as muck, remember, I was on the front row, but that instant after the start line, we didn't really see much of it. It's mainly because we had a rubbish camera angle. We did see a bit of the onboard footage from, I think it was Dan, and it didn't look too good, as they all wanted the same piece of track there, and it looked quite a messy incident indeed there. Interesting to see what the drivers make of that after this Grand Prix. And you may see, well, in that long camera shot, we may have seen Dan, but of course we cut away then. But Dan was already on the back straight, about halfway down the back straight. There he is. He's almost a spec now compared to the two RBs that are doing very good in second and third position. I wonder if we may see Laura Meckies put out the call and maybe swap the two RBs. That call is not happening at the moment now, isn't there? So maybe these two hurts in terms of the team orders, but of course it is not as bad as the McLaren team orders on Sunday. Oof, my goodness me, too much indigestion at the moment. It's vintage and justified. Good races, though, but down the order, I must say. It's been enjoyable, but there has been a lot of skirmishes so far. Lap 8 out of 28 here. And my question I've got now is Craigar having a sniff on the inside into turn 1, but Sick as Muck is looking quite quick. Oh, maybe a bit too quick into turn 1. And, oh, my goodness me, as slamming the door shut there. Well, I wouldn't say slam the door shut there. From closing the door on the toes there is Sick as Muck is. That's probably the kind of thing that a lot of people do to me when they see me at the door. Just trying to close the door, even though you want on an unwanted visitor. Sick as Muck. A polite shutting the door rather than a slamming the door shut on the toes. Here comes Anthony in 9th position there. Good stuff indeed there from the debutant. This is the first ever race for Anthony in the Mercedes, doing a very mighty fine job as well. Mercedes not going to score points today because the reserve drivers are not eligible to score points in the Constructors' Championship there. That rule was brought in mainly because reserves are coming in and helping some teams win the Constructors' Championship when potentially they probably didn't deserve it, because the full-time drivers should be racing more than the reserves. But there we go. Smithfield Mighty's got damage to that front wing as well. I'm not sure how long that's been going on for. Moomin doing a good job in 7th position. No points on the cards for Moomin, but both Kick Saubers having a good race today. Anthony is looking very interested in the back of this Ferrari here. I think he's going to be more interested. The Ferrari's actually looking at his rear posterior. And is he going to have a look then? Not quite then. As Justify Steven in as well. Oh, Anthony then just about having a sniff on the inside. As Smithfield Whitey just about gives the Mercedes a car's whip there, or Mercedes whip there. As Anthony almost into the back there. No, Anthony's in the pits. That's why then. So Anthony coming into the pits there. And now that's a very early stop there for the medium tyres. There's a problem there for the Davidson. Into the pits now comes the Mercedes driver. And it's slowing down then. And that is medium tyres, going for the undercut here. Anthony has said so. Really rolling the dice here, and that could be Jenner and Duncan Dave having a good old scrap as well. I think that's going to be a catalyst now for this race, and potentially going to be forcing some drivers on a two-stopper potentially here. Not ideal for the drivers that probably want to be stuck in their way and have a straightforward one stop until the very end then, which is what I want to do on Wednesday. And unlike me, these drivers will react to the other drivers because they want to do well, and they have got a dynamic plan in their mindset. Me, I'm not got much going on in my mind at all. Jenner and Duncan Dave had two very quick customers there, but having troubles at the moment. Duncan Dave, last two Grand Prix have been pretty sublime. This one not been too ideal then. Jenner is now in 14th position there, but it was high up in the order earlier on in this one, but unfortunately that's not done well at all. Rocker Lee has had a nightmare lap or two, because look at that, Styles on the outside, and he's styling up into 3rd position. No, not quite, because Rocker Lee is back. Where is he? He's under the tower, but Styles is down in the 3rd position, and contact between the two cars. tires. Stars has gone slightly off the circuit, and that could be a warning. But into the pits comes Rocket League now. It's a very brutal pit entry. Remember, was it Robert Kubica and Yana True that came to blows in 2009 there? But of course, it was a very damp day that day. And Vintage is Rocket Lee, who's the second driver to come in the pits, and Anthony in the pits earlier on then, on the medium tyres, really rolling the dice very early on indeed, and that's what I like to see. What we don't want to see, though, any of you Ferrari fans out there, is Smithy Almighty with some wing damage out there. So Smithy Almighty is going to have to have 5 seconds extra added to his time in the pit lane there. Not a penalty, of course, so that's the wing change on average. If Ferrari get their skates on, it'll be at least a 5-second deficit to the drivers around there. So Smithy needs to get past Movement as quickly as possible here. Otherwise, he will lose time hand over fist then. And of course, he will be behind Vintage, behind Mushroom, the drivers that have pitted already. So this is going to be a horror show for Smithy. And he needs to get his skates on now. But Movement is driving a superlative Grand Prix. Movement there has had a difficult start in both championships he's been racing in. But I think that this is a new Movement, refreshed Movement, and looking strong at the moment there. Movement is in 6th position. Great to see. Dandan leads the way. 2nd position, Marsky. 3rd is Styles. Dandan's got a 4.23 second gap. But the hard tires are now starting to come into their own here. And the hard tires are starting to really become the preferred race tire. Styles in 3rd position there. Sickers Muckers in 4th with Craig R 5th. Then there's a big old gap between 5th and 6th position, which Movement doing a good job on the hard tires there with Smithy, followed by Justified, Vintage, and then we got Rocket League getting past Dynamo Dan on the outside. Great stuff indeed. Dan out of position because of escapades, and now then, as we got more fighting going on. Smithy Almighty trying to go on the outside here, and Justify also involved in this battle as well. Great stuff there from the runners here. But Smithy is going to get very frustrated now. The Ferrari is limping wounded. Anthony sets the fast side of the race, absolutely flying out there on the medium compound tyres there, as I have got a lovely sweat line under my boobs, and am I allowed to say that on stream? Probably not there. Under my pecs there, as unfortunately they're not pecs there because they're not flat. Goodness gracious me. Righteous are on board with Smithy. Contact between the figures. I wonder if that's how Smithy damaged his car to begin with, potentially there. Just being caught out by the car in front. I love this over the shoulder shot. Absolutely fantastic. Somebody, let's enjoy. Nope, never mind. The director does not want me to enjoy anything tonight there. But however, he or she is not getting their wish, because I'm enjoying this battle, which has been supreme so far. Movement's trying to get the power down now, because I think the Smithy, oh my goodness gracious me, and Smithy's all over the gearbox now, and he's going to get past, is he? Smithy isn't, no he isn't there. Movement's got a very quick, kick salver underneath South Samoa there, but goodness me, Movement's got a bit of lag going on there, and it's going here, there, and everywhere. Goodness gracious me. So that's not going to be too helpful there. It's going to be a bit frightful, I think, for the Ferrari. Dan, the race leader, into the pits, and they're going on to the hard tires now. So Dan will be in the midfield mayhem here, and Dan's going to come out behind this battling quartet here. Vintage is behind him as well, but maybe Dan should get in front of Serious Mushroom. Serious Mushroom has got to go a long way on those medium tires, as has Anthony as well. I think those two drivers are going to have to pit again shortly, but let's see how this one transpires. And through goes the Ferrari, and up into, oh goodness me, I think that there is a bit of a connection desync here, and I think that it's getting very, very precarious, isn't it? Between Moomin and Smithy Almighty there. So yeah, it's getting but luckily Smithy Almighty is through, but Justify is now going to have to try and get through as well, Moomin. So whilst we've got some pit stops happening, the majority of the field was on the hard tires. I go into mediums. That is the preferred strategy that Serious Mushroom mentioned yesterday in the stream. Was in the silver stream was the hard to medium tires. Marsky is 3.5 seconds in front of Styles in 2nd position. 3rd position is Sick as Smoke. Hello everyone, by the way, welcome there. Knowles here suggested to put a bit of a hashtag into the. Oh my gosh, I've just lost my mustache from Vintage. Goodness gracious me, he's giving me a trim. As yellow flag out there as well. It's Rocket League. Oh no! Rocket Lee, who's thrown a superlative race, has had a cropper on the very long left hand, right hander. I even put my hands up as well to make sure I don't get the left and right mixed up. And Duncan Dave and Jenner, who is having a good old mighty scrap here for 12th and 13th for this time, finishing the pits. Smithfield, Mighty and Moomin are still scrapping for position going into turn one, and we're just keeping this eye on this battle here as the two drivers, and one of them doing a bit of goal hanging here. Well, I think the Jenner might be, because I think the medium tyres are probably going to start to struggle now. Now all over the gearbox. There's Anthony as well. Anthony, who is on fresh up medium tyres, so would like to get past these two as quickly as possible up the inside. And goodness gracious me, and a bold manoeuvre from the debutant there. Goodness gracious me, the debutant is not concerned about reputation, and he forces his way through. Oh, and a bit of contact as well. And oh, I love this camera. I got lovely something then. He's going to have so much more breaker performance there up the inside, and unfortunately misjudged that there a bit too much. Anthony did as a day later, $1 short, but no harm, no foul. But unfortunately for Anthony there, I think that he may have his tires a bit dirty now, so he's going to have to give him a good old clean. By the way, thank you very much for joining us today on your Tuesday. Absolutely brilliant stuff indeed there. Of course, the Olympics starts. What's happened? It's Dynamo Dan off the circuit, and he's gone into the wall, hasn't he? Dynamo Dan has on the hard tyres. Might be able to get away with going to mediums to the end there, but they're not going to be as fresh as they like, as we got all kinds of scrapping going on here. Then Anthony is now through, and now we got Rocket Lee then, who is also trying to make up his position as well. Styles as a lot has got past Hungry Styles, and Styles has not got past Hungry Styles. Styles has got past Sick as Muck then. Rocket Lee is going to have a sniff on the inside. Oh gosh, and Duncan Dave Fair is gone very wide. Open the door, and through goes the Red Bull, the RB of Rocket League, and Duncan Dave opening the door wide open, and through they go. Now Smithfield Mighty has got past Moomin, but with the DRS around here, the same problem I had on Wednesday night then. Oh my goodness me! Up the inside goes Dynamo Dan. Is he past two cars? Yes! What a manoeuvre! And he goes into 5th position. What an incredible manoeuvre there for the former race leader, for the championship leader as well. Absolutely mega stuff indeed there for Dan. I think the Farf is already writing in his notebook there that could be one of the overtakes of the season. That was superlative from Dan. Great stuff indeed there. As Moomin there, internet connection there is really jumping all around the stage the track at the moment there. Let's take stock. 3 retirements in the opening couple of laps then. However, it is now stabilised. By the way, thank you very much for joining us tonight. Absolutely superb stuff. We put some hashtags in the old titles. Knowles here's fault. Every time I try and tell my story, there's something that's awry. There's a car that is crawling now. There's a car crawling. Who is that? Who is that? Oh, it's Ashton there, clearing out of the way there. Good somebody there for Ashton there, as it's been a bit difficult. Smithy has had enough of that, and he's out into the pits and almost crashed into the wall. I would have emulated the great Pasta Maldonado who crashed there in practice in 2015, I think it was, or 14 there, of course. Not one of Maldonado's greatest days in Formula 1, as I think also he spun off in the midsection of the circuit there when he was trying to change some settings on the Lotus steering wheel as well. Can't remember if it was 14 or 15. And talking of which, ironically, of course, Team Enstone, who was powered by Mercedes in 2015, of course, the Lotus team, which is now the Alpine team, will now be powered by Mercedes in 2026. It's from the rumour mill, which is interesting, isn't it? Renault giving up on their power plant then. Of course, which Alpine is a part of the Renault family. Of course, I think it's their sports car franchise or something like that, if that's the right word. But giving up and going to Mercedes power, which that's a bit bit disappointing there, isn't it? Short, how do you remember all these years? To be honest, I'm just sad who watched a lot of the season reviews. So I must say though, I think that when it gets up to like 2018, 19, 20, and like all the newer years, I do struggle. Into the pits there comes these two, and oh my goodness me, Styles and Seeker's Muck there racing coming in the pit lane. And of course, talking of years in the past there, we remember that we had Hamilton, I think it was, wasn't it Alonso and Massa overtaking each other coming into the pits in 2010 in the Ferrari team. I think also Vettel and Hamilton was quite close coming out of the pits as well that day as well. As getting very fruitful, wasn't there? Of course, Alonso overtaking Massa and getting first service there. Of course, that is Fernando Alonso all over, isn't it? Out of the pits now comes Seeker's Mug. Look at that. Craig on had pitted one lap earlier and is in full position. Styles dropping down to fifth, but Styles has younger tires. Remember how quick he was on that final stint on Wednesday. Look at Anthony now. That uppercut has been mega for Anthony. Now for his sixth position. Great something justified. He's coming out of the pits out. He's in front of Moomin. And who's out on the outside? That's Vintage. Vintage is on the outside. Contact. Moomin has gone into the side there. Oh my gosh! And that's how F1 cars are made. Goodness gracious me! And I don't think that overtake was bona fide at all. My goodness gracious me! I'm thinking that might have been quite illegal, to be fair. Serious Mushroom also involved. Well, Serious Mushroom on a two-stopper. Serious Mushroom on a two-stopper and still in 10th position. That's absolutely ridiculous. That just shows how quick that man is around this circuit. Really two-stopper. It's not really the way to go, but Serious Mushroom making it work to perfection, albeit down in 10th position there, but he's going to be quicker than a hiccup now. Justify all over the back now of Movement. Rumour is that Alpine want Mercedes next year, but it's too late for that on both sides, Seeker saying that. Yeah, I think it'll be 2026. It is going to be the Mercedes engine, and on the outside goes Justify. Incredible. Serious Mushroom, I should say, incredible. As we got Rocket League getting past as well into the pits because Marsky was leading the race earlier on then. Unbeknownst to me, whilst I've been waffling on about all kinds of malarkey that has been going on down the order, look at this, and now moving this, oh my goodness me, moving at the brake and ever so slightly, and Serious Mushroom there, cut across there, and not giving Movement a opportunity to go for the old switcheroo, or going up and under. Oh my word there. That connection problems disturbing racers a lot. That it's unfortunate the connection is not ideal at the moment. Moment back on the inside overtake position there, and that is the problem with overtaking around here. Because you're overtaking, and there's another DRS set, and Justify trying to go on the outside. That Movement's going to go have a look. Oh, contact there, and goodness me, and Justify as Movement have come to blows. Justify is now in. Oh goodness me! It's an absolute anarchy out there. Movement dropping down the order there. I do think that was more connection issues than I think the Movement. They're going for a wild swipe there. I think that Movement seen Justify on a different part of the circuit there. So that's a bit unfortunate there. As here's Anthony, by the way, my driver of the day so far. Fantastic stuff. Mush, he is flying. He is indeed. Remember, Serious Mushroom's on a two-stopper after damage to his front wing earlier on this race. I think the Serious Mushroom probably could have been second here tonight and probably could have been challenging Dan for the Grand Prix win. Well, Dan's 9 seconds up the road. Maybe a bit of a stretch to challenge for the win for Mushroom, but certainly should have and could have been second here today. So I think Serious Mushroom's going to look back on this race as a race where he possibly could have and should have been second today. Unless anything happens to Dan, I think Dan's controlled this race from start to finish splendidly well. Gone from mediums to the hard tires and the preferred race strategy to our resident expert in the Oda Gantry, Serious Mushroom, who's basically our race control of ALR, has said has said, of course, it's hard to at medium tires. I was, oh my gosh, this spot in my armpit is really hurting me now. I might have to give it a squeeze in a minute. Oh, goodness me, Sean, saw your life out. Justify there into turn 1 there. Vintage there, goodness gracious me. He's off to Beijing there. He's got a bit wide there, Vintage has. And up the inside goes Justify, opens the door. Vintage, I know that Vintage is a gentleman, but that's too gentlemanly, I think, for Vintage wants to be there. And has lost out to those points there. And he is on the hard tires as well, Vintage is. So I do feel that Vintage is going to struggle then. But however, what do I know? I am just a ginger man talking to you guys at home. Whilst you guys are probably having the tea and getting ready or excited for the Olympics on Friday, I think it is. I do love the Olympics. Olympics. We've had the Euros, now we have the Olympics, and absolutely spoiled that. Of course, I must admit, I'm not really a fan of the. I think it's breakdance. And actually, I am a fan of breakdance, and I could do it as well. But the unfortunate thing is that when I breakdance, I'm just breaking myself rather than anything else. But breakdance is a new sport in the Olympics this year, which is going to be quite interesting. So I might watch that to see how it goes. Justifies that all over the back of Smithy Almighty up into 9th position there. Of course, if you join ALR, the ALR stream said you will you'll just find this quality of content there. Of course, breakdance in the Olympics. Who would have known that up until today? Well, I don't think anyone really cares, to be honest, do they? However, I care, because I think that's quite amazing. I can't remember what the other new sports are in the Olympics this year, but I've had one really caught my eye. Smith Almighty is very much a bit of a boat down the back straights there, isn't he? I thought he would have flown past Justify, but Justify recovering nicely and back up into 9th position. A good show today from Justify. Good stuff indeed there. And now up into 9th position now goes Keenan is getting past Jinner. Jinner, of course, had an almighty scrap, didn't he, on Wednesday night as well. But Jinner having a nightmare race around here. 2 races in a row now where it has not gone a bit. It has gone a bit awry, hasn't it? Unfortunately for Jinner. We're into the final third. It's gone through this race. It's actually flown by. This is usually one of the longer races of the season, even without safety cars. But really good stuff indeed. Rocket Lee and Anthony are looking very fighting with each other. The question that I've got is that can Anthony get to the end of the race? He's got to do another 10 laps on the hot medium tyres. That is a stretch, I think. That is going to be quite a mammoth stint there. But I must say, he's still got some pace there, hanging on to the back of Rocket Lee, which is no easy feat there, and breezing past Rocket Lee. I say breezing past. They're about 2/3 of the way down the back straight of the inside. Lovely stuff indeed then. And up into 6th position. Of course, Farf is watching now in his office, isn't he? Farf is there. I think the Farf's got the whole living room to himself actually tonight there, which is good stuff indeed there. So Farf watching, taking notes there, as I think we've got 2 openings then for new drivers in bronze then, and Anthony's doing a great job indeed there. And I think the Farf is not easily impressed then, but I'm sure he's going to be impressed with the debutant here tonight, I'm sure. Smith Almighty probably won't be impressed with this race, unfortunately. Struggling indeed. And of course, Smith Almighty, the admin of Silver, as the admin of Silver mode, Smith Almighty is talking of which, and he's had a difficult job over the past couple of weeks, and hasn't he, with getting silver drivers in. As I said in the earliest part of the show, it's been more the reserve championship than anything else. Silver used to be one of the better championships, wasn't it? But I don't know. It's just not looked too good as it so far. Of course, caught the grid with reserves last night, which means that tomorrow I'm going to have to probably use me noggin a bit more, which is not ideal, especially on a Wednesday, as I've got enough problems getting into the lobby for the 100% now. As we're just watching Anthony, who is he going to start to struggle on these medium tyres? I do feel I fear the worst for Anthony here. I don't think that those medium tyres are going to get to the end now, but I have been wrong before. I could be wrong on this instance as well, but I just feel that the tyre performance is going to really start to struggle. And Mushroom is on fresh tyres as well there. 6 seconds back at the moment, Mushroom is there. Could be able to get 7th there. I think the Mushroom there possibly would be disappointed with how this race has transpired. Smith, whoa, and it was on the back of that Keenan and the Jinner there, almost having a mammoth incident there. I think that Cara Kane had a humongous smash there in 2005. Rocket Lee has got a 3-second penalty. That's absolutely incredible, to be fair, to have no penalties up until this race. But unfortunately, Rocket Lee is the first driver to get penalties. Up and under goes Kean here. Anthony's in the pits, and so he wasn't going to go to the end then. Is that going to be soft tyres, I reckon? That's 8 laps on those soft tyres. Oh, lovely. Look at that. That's textbook there. Up and under. Passes the Haas driver. And through goes the Ferrari Kean and up into 12th position. It's going to be a very quick Mercedes now with Anthony, who's gone the 2-stop strategy. Of course, Mushroom's the only other driver on the 2-stop for today. I think the 2-stop may have been the wrong choice there, but strategy overall for Anthony, but race time overall for Anthony has been fantastic. Stars, he was so quick, wasn't he, in the 100% on Wednesday, and once again is doing an absolutely fine job indeed then as Stars. Stars should have got a podium last night. Sigismund currently in 3rd position, and Marsky in 2nd, Dan leading the race there. Top 3 in this race, also top 3 in the championship as well, and Dan, his lead has been whittled down. It has gone down to 5 seconds now. This race is not over. Dan has had it all his own way up until recently, and here Styles and the Styles fanatics are going to be profiling in the comments as well, styling and profiling. Well, Sick as Mug is only 3 seconds up the road, so maybe if Styles got any pace left, which remember Sick as Mug won the race actually on Wednesday as well. I should have mentioned that earlier on, to be honest. Sick as Mug, the first Grand Prix win, absolutely sublime stuff indeed. I think it's going to be difficult to overtake, but Craigar having a sniff. Oh, contact, but Craigar keeps it in the straight line. Just about. Goodness me. Anyway, the Torpedo, anyone? Goodness gracious me, not Craigar. I mean, Danny Fiat in 2016 there, of course, where Sebastian Vettel famously dubbed up Danny Fiat Torpedo into turn 1 there. Sadly, 2 races later, Danny Fiat was actually demoted out of the Red Bull team, and Verstappen then came on the show, and the rest, as they say, is history. 3-time world champion, winning on his debut as well for Red Bull, after the two Mercedes took each other out infamously in the Spanish Grand Prix in 2016. Goodness gracious me. Who could have wrote that, eh? Albeit Verstappen there almost lost his cool a bit on Sunday, didn't he? As even his engineer GP called him childish, which I found pretty amusing. Love the helmet, by the way, from Craigar. Absolutely fantastic stuff indeed. I think that the helmet designs on this game has been pretty meh, to be honest. That's one of my biggest criticisms of this game. A lot of the onliners and all these so-called experts have said the handling model has been a bit rubbish, but I got to say the helmet designs have been pretty rubbish. I know where my bread is buttered, and it is certainly the helmet designs, I've got to say. Albeit my pink helmet is absolutely stuff indeed. But Craigar probably wins the helmet of the week award then, potentially. Albeit, I can't remember much of Silver last night, as I was unfortunately working still. Styles then down to 5th position. Smithy Almighty trying to get past Justify. Not quite though, because Justify shows him his rear wheel and is now in 8th position, or was in 8th position, or still is in 8th position there. You would think that I would know all the positions there, but to be fair, I need to concentrate more, as I do get lost in these races. Smithy Almighty, well, now that's a little easier there for Smithy. I wonder if he just ran out of battery when he was trying to overtake earlier on then, and Smithy's going to show him the outside there. Anthony going for that fast lap point at the moment now, and he has got it. Doesn't matter where you finish there, you do get the bonus point for fast lap, and unlike the real world of Formula 1. Very similar to Formula E when they first started racing, where they had, I love this handicap shop. Look how beautiful, isn't it? Splendid stuff down into turn 6. Formula E had that fast lap point, of course. Remember, it was season 2 where it was I can't remember who won season 2 now, to be honest there. But it was Degrassi, wasn't it? And someone else. Oh, gosh, I can't remember who it was now. Someone's going to have to help me. But they both crashed at London, didn't they? And then and they were just racing around in the back, just trying to get fast laps, weren't they? So that's the reason why F1 doesn't have it, just for the top 10 and same for Formula 2 as well. However, for ALR, they may decide a championship. I suppose, I hope it never does, to be honest, because winning the championship with that bonus fast lap point may not be the most ideal way to win it. But having said that, then a win's a win, isn't it? Driver of the Day vote is out there. Get your Driver of the Day votes coming in as well. We got Dynamo Dan, we got Marsky, we got Hungry Styles, and we got Craig R. A very difficult 17th then. Nosey! Justify having a look at the inside. Nosey says that I love a good helmet. I do indeed then. That's the most important part of a racer's repertoire, is your helmet design. Doesn't matter about your speed in qualifying, doesn't matter about your racecraft, doesn't matter about your focus, doesn't matter about your race speed over a race distance. Keychains did a great job moving off the circuit and has done a Giovinazzi there, I think, and unfortunately crashing, but albeit Carlos Sainz as well as I think moving trying to come into the pits there, but I think that too far away. Anthony's out to the back of Vintage Dinner and Kian then, so Anthony's gonna have to get his skates on, because I think Kian's quite a quick customer there. Good recovery from Kian, by the way. Absolutely great stuff there. Moving at the back of the field, had to pit by and it was at the back of the field by quite some margin, and has still kept in this race and is now in 10th position. Might be able to get a point as well for his efforts. So great stuff there from Kian there. My personal driver of the day then. Just watching Justify in at 9th position as well, doing a good job. Thumbs up from me there as well. Don't think Justify cares about the thumbs up from this commentator. However, I'm going to give him a thumbs up. Good stuff indeed. The gap at the front, whilst I've been waffling away, is come down once again by 2.4 seconds now. This race, as I said about 5 laps ago, is not done. And Dan, who has been cruising at the front then for most of this race, is all of a sudden, Marski is trying to go for his third Grand Prix win. Dan is trying to go for his third Grand Prix win as well. As we have got, all kinds of action here. Anthony trying to go on the outside here. Anthony is squeezing through. Anthony has it, but he doesn't have the inside, but he'll have the grip. He does. Jenna trying to go up the inside there. Jenna just about giving the Mercedes a car's whip there, but I think the Jenna on the bit of contact there, but Jenna there is on the outside. Oh, contact between Anthony and Jenna there. Oh, goodness gracious me. And Anthony spins the car around, but that is points in the top 10 out of the window for the debutant there, and that is disappointing indeed there for Anthony. And oh dear, that's not ideal, is it? Of course, 2 into 1 does not go very well, does it? And as Moomin is saying, and it's, he's not happy about the incidents that happened earlier on this race, but I don't think Moomin realises how difficult it is, and with because Moomin's had a couple of connection issues in this race, especially when the incident between himself and Justify has not been able to see where Moomin's been going there. And as just coming out of the turn 13, I think it is. There's a camera racer there with a comment in there as well, but we'll leave it there, I think. Goodness gracious me. What we won't leave there, though, is Serious Mushroom. It's now up into it's on just 6th position there, Mushroom. It's just think, if you take away the 20-odd seconds he lost in the pit lane, where would Mushroom be? Mushroom would be around 4th position now and be battling for that podium. That is so unfortunate. Look at the background of the 2 Ferraris. And look at the background there. That's Ginner and Vintage. Goodness gracious me. Ginner's had a very adventurous Grand Prix. Oh, goodness me. And almost making contact on the straight there. That's not ideal. And once again, wheel to wheel here. This is getting very feisty indeed between the 2 drivers. There's no points up for grabs, but there is certainly pride here. Oh, my goodness gracious me. Into the final turn then, and out of it to the Vintage there, who I think has backed out of that one ever so slightly. Goodness gracious me, that one's getting very hair and scare indeed. The gap is down to 1.6 seconds there. Whilst the action's been going on behind there, the battle at the front there is whittled down to 1.7 seconds. I think the Marski is just going to run out of time now. Dan has raced absolutely splendidly well tonight. It's been superb, hasn't he? As Dan, very good stuff indeed. As a driver of the day is still out, of course, I remind you of that. Oops, I've just almost blocked Knowlesy there. That would have been good. Stars there, 50%, about 33% for Dan, 70% for Marski, 0% for Craig R. I'd have voted for Craig R, but I already voted for Styles. So there we go. Am I allowed to vote? I'm not sure if I am really, but there we go. I always vote anyway. However, I don't normally reveal my votes, but I have done tonight, so shame on me. However, of course, if me and Smithy was doing the votes, then of course we would have voted for Anthony, who's done a good job today as a reserve, or Justify as well, who's done a really good job indeed. Both drivers who I would hope to see in a seat full time, to be honest. But of course, not my decision. I just like to whine when full-time drivers don't turn up, because there you go. Mainly because I'm a very moody old ginger tonight there. Dan 2 OP, please nerf Sega say, goodness gracious me. Dan has been pretty impressive, hasn't he, since the get-go. Dan was silver, wasn't he, but only raced a few races. Did Dan has returned and has been pretty impressive. He did 2 races last season for bronze there. Finished, I think, 2nd and 4th or something along those lines there. But this season, there really has really hit the ground running for bronze, hasn't it? Dan has. But the battle behind Dan there has been pretty impressive indeed there. But Marski 2nd, 3rd is sick as Mac. Craig R 4th. Starts, great job in 5th position. Serious Mushroom 6th. Should be battling for a podium, but issues earlier on then. Rocket Lee and Smithfield White 7th and 8th position there. Justify 9th Key, and what a great job in 10th position. Brilliant job from Kian as well, actually. So maybe Kian will also get majority there as well. Whoa! Styles there line up the rears, and Serious Mushroom is about 15 seconds back, but Styles there is really put too much pressure on those tyres potentially. Final lap of this race, I believe. No, it isn't. We got a couple more laps to go. It is the final lap. Goodness gracious me. And gosh, it's only 20 to 9 there, which means that I should be in bed by hopefully 10 to. Fantastic. Right, Jen's got 3 seconds second penalty. Only 2 drivers got penalties in this race, but Dan leads this race out and has timed it to absolute perfection. Marski in second, Seekers Muck in third position with Craig R fourth, Styles in fifth, Serious Mushroom in sixth position there, Rocket Lee is seventh, eighth is Smith and Monty Justified ninth, Kian in 10th position there, Jinner in 11th with Vintage 12th, Anthony is coming back at him in 13th, is also on course to get a first point on his debut, fantastic. Duncan Dave 14th, Moomin in 15th with Dynamo Dan in 16th and Ashton in 17th position. Hats off to Ashton and Dynamo Dan for sticking with it as well, which has been a bit of a horror show in this one there. As Camera Racer like you in Suzuka, Camera Racer is saying that. Oh, Morski's up about 5/10 of a second away at the moment. So this could be a very close finish here in Shanghai. The final race in Shanghai before we go to the city where the heat is on. Then is Will Smith sung all those years ago in Miami, and now coming down the back straight there. Look at that! Then I wonder if Dan's teammate might be able to help him. But Morski's going for it, and he's gaining. That straight is not going to be long enough. I don't think he's on the outside, but I think it was just one and done. Dan's got one, and Morski has taken the lead there with just one corner to go, and Morski has done it on the final lap, then out to the final 10, and Morski wins the Chinese Grand Prix. What an incredible end there to this one. What a fantastic race. Dan dominated this race for majority of it, and Morski has stolen one here, and Dan is going to be furious with that. Marski has picked up his his third win of his career on his 75th Grand Prix start. And what an end to the race that was for Marski. Fantastic stuff indeed for Marski. One in there after Dan had dominated this race there. And Smith and Monty getting past Rocket Lee and Justified getting 2 points. Well, good stuff indeed there for Justified. What an incredible end that was there. And yes, fire, shock, incredible. One end to that race. My goodness gracious me. Well, who said that was OP? Goodness gracious me! What an end to that race. Said, of course. But I thought it was daylight and $1 short, but that's straight. I didn't think it was long enough, but Dan overshot ever so slightly. One corner to go, just 2 corners to go. Marski stole the win and has taken his third Grand Prix win of his career. Of course, Marski challenged for the championship for back in season 3, finished runner-up. Can he go one better this season? Marski can, well, as he tours down the back straight. Dan, who dominated this race up until the final couple of laps there, but Marski stole the march set and is punching the air. What a fantastic result indeed there for Marski. Wow, indeed, Marski. Yes, really good stuff indeed. Whew, my word, fantastic. Oh, I was itching my nose and I think I've I've made it bleed. That's not good, is it? Congratulations, top 3. Is that what Jenner is saying there? It's been a hard race for Jenner. Let's take a final look at the classification from the Chinese Grand Prix. Marski, great win, his third win of his career. Dan dominated that race from start to almost finish with Sick as Muck in third. Craig R in fourth with Styles in fifth and Serious Mushman 6th. Smithy in 7th. 8th is Rocket Lee, Justifying 9th, and 10th position is Kian. Vintage just outside the points 11th. Fastest up for Anthony on his debut. And a point as well, fantastic. Jenner 13th, Duncan Dave 14th, Moomin 15th, Donovan Dan 16th, Real Ashton 17th. Retirements was Winnie Slayer and Donald Don's technical gremlins, I think, for all 3 of them in the lobby there, unfortunately, and that cost here today there. And Craig R, he will take that then. He will take that then as goodness gracious me. Ashton there, shame at the start line. Some drivers did not move there. Is that what caused the issues potentially here in Shanghai? That's a bit unfortunate then indeed. Then, well, that was a cracking race, wasn't it? Of course, no interviews tonight because I've got to go to bed, boys. Unfortunately, due to work, which how selfish of them. Goodness gracious me. But Alex will be tomorrow then as we go to Miami. Good night, everyone. That was an incredible race. Marski, a 3-time Grand Prix winner.